What's up, guys? It's Kendra and
Mr. Moreno, a.k.a. Jaime, a.k.a. the man.
today we are here with
Mr. Massey.
Yay! Mr. Massey is the superintendent of Brazosport ISD. He's over everybody. All the buildings, all the teachers, all the principals, all the students. You're in charge of it all. How's that feel?
Feels great.
We'll get to a little bit, but like, that's a huge responsibility.
I know. Do you ever get stressed out from that?
Yeah, but we have really great staff, really great students, great parents, and so it's really it is a lot. It's a lot of roles and responsibilities, but we have a great team, and we're lucky to be in an area that's really supportive of public education. I mean, we get so much support from parents and industry and businesses. We don't have to deal with a lot of competition from private schools and charter schools.
That's true. There's only like a small handful.
Yeah, and
around this
so
area.
it's really a great place to be because in education and public education especially, because people are supportive. People love Brazosport, especially here. Freeport's a great example. There's people that have been here for generations and generations. Hopperfield has been there
forever,
since the 1920s. Man, that stadium's been there for 100 years almost.
That's true.
Still looking good.
That's true. When I first got here, I wasn't surprised, but I was also surprised at how many people were like, "Oh yeah, I graduated, blah 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 blah,"
like bragged about it,
and we're like here still working, like putting forth effort. Or people like when you meet people in the community, they're like, my kids and my grandkids, and I graduated in '76 or whatever, and like I'm like, that's dope.
You know what I think is a great idea that the school did is put all the pictures.
Yes,
I think that's such a great
really
idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like all the time we walk in the hallways, I always see it. Like I just look, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's.
It's always great to look at like the trends of like the hairstyles.
I found my dad on
there.
And how they come back. They come back.
Yeah.
Bell bottoms, skinny jeans.
Yeah, those are all things.
The
like
mullet.
The 60s.
The mullet is back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the big hair. The girl, the mullet came back from the 80s. Now the girl's the big hair.
In about 5 years, girls are gonna come back with the tees, with the Aquanet, and they're just gonna have.
I
found my dad, my aunt, my uncle.
Did you? Oh, that's pretty cool.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, so that's a great
cool.
example, Kendra, of just how people. Really invest and take ownership in the schools here. It really means something. The schools are the community.
Yeah, I'm with that.
So it's a great job. It's a great job.
It's a great job.
What he means to say is he loves it.
I love it.
I love it too.
I do love it. Yeah. And who could not love kids? I mean, that's the part of the job.
There's some questionable ones.
Is loving kids. Yeah, that's the job. Yeah.
All right, Kendra has a few questions. Kendra's going to ask you questions about you, the person. We got to get to know Mr. Massey.
All right.
Kendra?
Okay, let's see. My first question would have to be, growing up, what did you want to be growing up? Like, what was your...
A professional football player.
Really?
Yeah, I played a lot of athletics.
Nice.
I played football, baseball, basketball, growing up, and then through high school, and then I played football in college. And so.
Did you really? I did not know that.
And so I wanted to be a professional athlete, football player when I was younger.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I wanted to coach and teach, and so I've always wanted to be a teacher and a coach.
That's awesome.
I have one question, and this is totally off topic, but have you ever heard when people say softball and baseball are the same? Have you ever heard anybody say that?
That they're the same?
Yes.
They're a little similar, but they're a little different.
They're so different.
They're so different.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I get to know when people say that too.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about softball that baseball doesn't have is two bases at first base.
Yes.
That makes so much sense.
100%.
All the collisions that you see.
You prevent
there's
a lot
no
of
need
that.
for that.
There,
Just
you
put
prevent
another
a
base
ton
there
of,
and let the runner
I
run
agree.
there.
I agree.
So what you're saying is softball is better.
Softball is better to watch because it goes faster.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, softball is a lot more exciting because there's a lot more action.
Quicker. It is way quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, baseball is long. It takes a long time. Yeah.
I want to be real. This sounds really bad of me, but I've been to plenty of Astro games. Grew up going to Astros game when we were kids. Loved it. I haven't sat through an entire first pitch to like ninth, in forever. You know where they're like, oh, the fireworks on Fridays. I don't have time for fireworks. I gotta get home. It takes an hour to get there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat traffic. I ain't got time for all that.
I know, you know.
They take baseball games take forever.
When my kids were younger and I would go to the Astros game, we would always go early for batting practice.
Yes.
So in the Crawford boxes.
Right.
And
so they could catch them all in it.
But the deal was, if we went that early, we were leaving early too.
I'm with it, dude.
So it worked out good.
That game that went to the 18th inning that the Astros did to Clint.
I thought it was 15.
No, they went 18.
18?
I literally was like, we were running late for dinner. We were going to go have dinner with a family friend of ours. And we were like, okay, we got to go. So we went, we had dinner. We were there for an hour and a half. And then we were like, is this still going on? And one of the guys that was there was like, still going. We got home. It was like, we had already had dinner, had like dessert, had a whole conversation. We got home, it was still going on. I was like, this game is taking forever. That's so funny.
What position did you play in baseball?
No, football. Wait, I want to ask questions about football. I want these football questions.
But I want to do like baseball.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, what position did you play in baseball?
First base.
First base?
Mm-hmm. That's why I think there needs to be two bases. I played first base. They needed to have their own base and stay off me. Yeah.
That's actually a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
If baseball had two bases.
But even if they do collide in you, they could still get a free base from them.
I mean, that's true. But you have to really try to run into somebody if you have two bases and you're colliding. Like, that has to be a bad throw and you're trying to run into people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. We're going to continue with the football. Where'd you play football at? Like
Missouri
college?
Southern.
Really? What'd you play?
Free safety.
Really? As a collegiate athlete, do you struggle watching bad football?
Well, how do you define bad football?
So, like football, where you're just like, we're not having everybody interceptions everywhere, nobody's
a
blocking.
Defensive play,
well, that's
so
true.
That's good. Those
low scoring games, you're like, yeah.
But that was a time where you could sack the quarterback and not get a penalty.
That's
true. You could actually hit a receiver. That's coming across the middle.
You could take him out.
It was a
different game.
The new rules are good. I mean, but it was a lot more violent game then, I guess.
Yeah,
especially from defense.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. So, like growing up in Angleton, A-Town, baby. I rep. I went to school with Quentin Jammer. And Quentin Jammer was a high-level high school player. Went to U of A or UT. Started all 4 of his years. Got drafted like top 5. Like he was a great athlete. Honestly, the worst hit I've ever seen in my life was him taking out somebody on a kick return. It was horrid, but it was also great to watch. I'm a big fan of It was like, dude, he hit him. Homeboy went. It was a punt. It was a punt return. Guy caught it going down the sideline. Quentin hit him. He probably went like 10 yards, like honestly to the bench hard. And you heard the
for
pop.
some reason
I love those
because that's how you know how hard it was. So it's like, ooh.
What position do you play, Kendra?
I played catcher and second.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to do first. I could still do first.
Yeah. I was not a baseball dude growing up. That was not. My dad loved baseball, and he made us play. But I was always growing up like I would play pickup basketball all the time. Yeah. Okay, so you went to school. Where are you from?
San Angelo.
Really?
And then I graduated high school from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I was only there 4 years, though.
At Broken Arrow. Family moved. Needed to move. Went to Broken Arrow. Where's
It's a suburb of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Oklahoma?
Yeah. San Angelo's, there's not a lot out there. It's pretty dry. Go to San Antonio.
I've been to San Antonio.
And then keep going.
Okay.
You'll eventually run into San Angelo. It's out there. It's out there, West Texas.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
You'll eventually get there.
You'll
get lost. So you wanted to be a professional football player. How long did you play in college?
4 years.
Oh, really? Did you, at the end of your senior year in college, was there a moment where you're like, maybe I'll do a tryout? Or what was the thought process?
No.
Really?
I knew I wasn't good enough to play pro football.
Yeah. What was the moment where you're just like, I'm probably going to coach?
Oh, I went to college to get an education degree.
Did you?
I always wanted to teach and coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this is my 33rd year.
In education?
In education. And this is my 31st year in Brazosport ISD.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Now I have more questions.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to the education part. I want to know more. Actually, let's talk about this. So 4 years of college, what did you teach when you first got into education? What was your subject matter?
Physical education and health.
You were a coach.
Mm-hmm.
PE.
Yeah, PE. Yeah.
These guys.
Yeah.
These guys.
And history.
Yeah.
So you stayed local and then you came this way?
Yeah, I taught a year in Missouri and then a year in New Mexico and then 31 years here. So I was 13 years as a high school coach at Brazos Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rival, as we call it. We're not rivals.
Yeah.
Are we rivals?
No.
I feel like West Columbia is more the Brazosport rival.
Yeah.
Well, since they're not as close in size anymore, so it's really not.
That's
that big
true.
a rivalry.
Yeah, it's a 6A versus a 4A.
Yeah.
What
13 years. 13
what brought
years
you
as
to
coach?
to
15 total.
What brought you to BISD?
Football coach.
Really?
Head coach got the job, and I was assistant with him in New Mexico, and so.
That's really interesting.
That happens in the coaching fraternity.
Yeah.
If you know somebody, like, I think if you really have aspirations to, like, do this at a grander scale, networking is huge.
Isn't that what Knipes is doing?
I mean, yeah. Essentially, yeah. You're talking about the young Knipes. Yeah, he knew somebody over in Pecos, and he went over there to get a better position.
Good.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
In the coaching world, you go to coaching conferences, right? They're almost always in San Antonio. They've always been in San Antonio for a long time.
They're all over.
But they do coaching conferences, and you go there to meet more coaches. So you have your group of people, you network, you find out about I heard about you at this place, blah blah blah. You have lunch with them, hang out with them, and then eventually what happens, especially if you're trying to do this on a grander scale, not just be like, I just want to be a receiver coach for the rest of my life. Like if you have aspirations, you find people who are in the up and coming. And then you go with them, and if they have a job, you have a job. So you were a single guy, came to the BISD.
24 years old. Yeah,
really?
Single at the beach.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just
met my wife here. Yeah.
Really?
My wife here. She was subbing at the school. Yeah.
Yeah. So you came directly to high school coaching. You didn't do like LJI or anything. Like you went straight to Bewood.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I was in Missouri and then in New Mexico.
Right.
And then came to.
I guess as a single person, this would be a pretty cool little spot. You're close to Houston.
Oh yeah.
You're now.
It's great. I've never left. I haven't left. 31 years. I'm still here.
He's like,
I love it.
My home,
man. You get all the luxuries of a big city.
Yeah.
Large city without having to
live in it.
The traffic and all that.
Right.
The people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the beach.
And you get the beach.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm now imagining Danny Massey.
Yeah, I love this.
Going to the beach.
Boogie boarding at Surfside when he's 24, 25 years old. Could you imagine walking in on him? You had a truck, didn't you?
Yeah, I still do.
I love it. Please tell me you weren't one of those Surfside dudes that surf. They're like, waves are kicking, bro. We got to go on.
No.
I think people like that are amazing, but surf's up, bro.
Yeah, never surfed.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. All right. What other questions we have about Mr. Massey? What's family dynamics like growing up? Mom, dad, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, so I have a wife and I have 3 kids. I have twins. I have boy-girl twins. Yeah,
that's unique.
Who are 19 years old. My oldest son is 21, and then I have boy-girl twins who are 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was also so I was a teacher and coach here for 13 years, and then I was an assistant principal here, and then a principal, and then executive director, and then assistant superintendent. And then this is my 8th year as superintendent.
Where did you assistant principal and principal at Wood, or where were you at?
No, I was here in the district. Yeah, Lake Jackson Intermediate.
Okay.
And Lighthouse Learning Center.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Nice. That was my first assistant principal job. Was at Lighthouse Learning Center.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. When did we get BSA? Which I love, but when did that start?
About 7-8 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. We had an alternative education center that wasn't a discipline alternative school at LLC before that, but then we pulled them out of there because it wasn't a discipline school. But we've had a AEC campus similar to BSA for probably 15-20 years.
And then BSA took over.
Yeah, but not really at the height of or the service that we provided BSA. Yeah, which I know y'all know Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Were
you here whenever he was here?
Doing a great job there.
Probably your freshman year.
Yeah, I think so. I've heard the name before.
He's doing a great job. Yeah. My youngest son graduated from there.
Really?
Yeah, early. Yeah, he graduated early. He's ready to
get
on
that
with
is
his
such
life.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Like I know like a lot of people who's graduated from over there.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. There, everybody has every individual student is an individual, right? So like their circumstance is not the same as everybody else's. I think if that's a program that you can go and do, we had talked about this before. I've talked about this before. My first year here, when I was working with True to Life, I met a kid who, because of circumstances, had to work a ton. He had to make money. He had to pay bills. And his attendance wasn't great, which is the big hang up that not everybody gets to go to BSA. You have to apply. You have to interview, the whole nine. But we thought here he would be a great candidate for it. He went over there. He got done in about 6 months. And he had 2 years left. And he was like, I can get it done. I can go back to work. I can work more hours, help provide for my family. It worked.
Well, we offer a lot of different options there, too.
Yeah.
Because they're a designated alternative education campus, we have more flexibilities with their length of school day that they're required to be. We do offer evening school at times also, too.
Yeah.
So it's our goal is to customize and personalize each student's education experience, because you're exactly right. Everybody needs something a little different. And we've had a lot of successes there.
That's awesome.
That's really good.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that not every school district offers something like that.
Yeah.
You know, most school districts will have your normal high school. They'll have a discipline alternative. Not everybody offers.
Well, just all of our learning experiences here. Just look around. I mean, we're in this beautiful CTE.
Not everybody has this.
Listen,
not everybody has this.
As I was walking through, there was the culinary lab, there was the health science lab, there welding.
Yeah.
Just all the unbelievable opportunities that we provide. It's really cool.
Let me tell you something that BISD does, and I'm gonna brag on them real quick, and it has everything to do with a friend of mine that's over there. You know how many high schools get to build a giant rocket and put it into the space? Very few. Bewood has a world record. Their rocket this past summer, their Garner rocket, broke a record in height for any high school ever in the nation.
Really?
Like, not Texas, like in the nation. Not everyone gets to do that. The fact that we have that availability is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it serves Brazosport students also too. And then the robotics, we have robotics here also. The engineering pathway. Just lots of opportunities for our students. Vet tech also. Just
it's
really
cool. They have a lot of cool stuff. We're getting cosmetology next year.
We're actually starting the course next year.
Really?
And
yes, sir.
the lab won't be built yet, but for the first year class,
year one,
it doesn't need to be built. It's going to be students at Braswood that want to have cosmetology, they'll come here to do that. So it'll serve both campuses. And,
it's supposed to be like a full-on salon.
Oh, it will be. Yeah,
barbershop, like the whole thing.
What's that? Was it you that was talking
about what?
No, I don't think it was you. One of the schools has one of those. Like,
there's other schools that have it,
but it's like their own like campus. Like it's like own. Like, actually go in there. It's like a whole salon. I know this only because I have family over there. But Angleton does a barber shop, but they don't do like we're gonna have like a full on. They're going to learn how to do nails, highlights, dye hair, like the whole nine. Like, it's going to be really cool. Yeah. I think that's cool. The other one that I think is cool is the paramedic one they have at Wood, that is available at Wood.
EMT,
you can get your whole like certification to be an EMT. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, BISD does stuff. It's pretty dope. Yeah. We got some cool stuff. We're talking
dope. So hey, that was so the whole goal of the podcast here. I was teasing with some of the Brazosport staff. The whole goal was for Mr. Moreno to get me to say dope.
He just did it. Okay, because it is dope, right, Mr. Massey?
Yeah,
it's dope.
Yeah. Our CTE classes, I'm going to use it. All right,
they're dope.
Our CTE courses are all dope.
Leo, did you hear that? He said dope. I love it. I didn't think he would do it. Okay, let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
Growing up in San Angelo, young Danny Massey, like we're talking 10, 11, 12. Something had to happen that was funny. Give me a funny moment. What was a memory you have as a young person that you're like, I can't believe we got away with this, or I can't believe I did this, or how did I break this limit?
Yeah, so probably my uncle, who was supposed to be babysitting my brother and I.
Those never work.
Yeah, his friends came over and they locked us out. They locked us out of the house, for about 12 hours.
12 hours?
They were like, house is ours.
House is ours.
Get away, children. Go, don't die. That's so funny.
So we were locked out. That's different times then. There were a lot of people being outside like that.
Was exactly what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
We've probably been out there anyway. but they wouldn't let us back in.
Never babysat again.
Never allowed.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
He was never allowed after that. That's so good. Okay. On a serious topic. No, we don't have to get serious yet. We're going to do over under in here in a minute. So I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that people would be who don't know this world, don't know the education world, the world of being in here with students? What's something that most people don't understand and are surprised about? And what's something that excites you about being in this world? It's a two-parter. We'll go with the first part.
Well, I think most people don't realize how good our kids actually are. I think
Agreed.
people that aren't in education, and if they just sit around and listen to the political agenda that's out there, that's intentionally and strategically discrediting public education with a lot of these wedge issues, and they just sit around and watch the news, they think kids are terrible.
Right.
You know, because that's all they hear, TikTok challenges and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I mean, come here, kids are awesome.
Yeah.
Any campus you go to, kids are awesome.
Right.
I mean, Kendra's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Calm down, Kendra.
There's you know, it's just every time I'm on campuses, it just blows me away of how great our kids are.
Yeah.
You know, that most people, unless they're in education,
they don't
get
get
to
it.
see that. They don't get it. You know, any survey that you see, adult survey, the parents that have students in school always rate the schools higher than parents that don't, because
that's actually true.
Because the parents that don't have kids in school, they're only it's just what they hear on the news, which is usually really negative.
Yeah.
And so I used to post a lot because I got so tired of hearing just so much negativity about kids. I used to post, say, kids these days are awesome. Kids these days are awesome.
Yeah.
They really are. And I say this a lot about kids, especially at Brazosport High School, just how accepting they are of each other.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we live in a nation, a world and a nation especially that's really divided.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at extremes, and things are very polarizing now. Yeah. You know, and when you walk into Brazosport High School, I mean, there's no polarization.
Yeah.
Kids aren't just caught up in these wedge issues. They don't care about these things that you hear on the news. I mean, they come to school, they love their teachers, they love their classmates. You know, they like being here. It's just a great place to be. I've always said kids are so accepting of each other here.
I agree.
They really are.
I agree. I've been in a lot of different school districts and campuses, and I think what excited me about when I had the conversation with Mr. Yost about going from True to Life, which was great to hear. This is a different campus. I've been on a lot of campuses, and you're right. The amount of like care for each other that we have on this campus, the amount of diversity that's in this campus, which is great, which is something that I was really looking forward to. Like, there's a lot of big, like, I might represent Angleton because I'm from Angleton, but Beeport's my home. Like, I believe
Beeport's where you get your paycheck.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's also true. Yeah. But
so easy there with the A-Town stuff.
Okay. You're right. My bad. But you know the chant, it's in our blood. Yeah. I mean that when we say that at pep rallies. It's in my blood. Yeah. I cannot lie. Yeah. I'll be an exporter to the day I die. I didn't used to wear a lot of red and blue, but now I do because it's reps. I think another thing to hark on, like to back up on that or to join up on that. I think the problem that you have with people that aren't understanding of this is that one thing. They think all the kids are just. I even think kids that are behavior kids, like that may have an attitude, like once you find out the understanding of what it is that they're really mad at, it kind of makes sense why they're upset. And I'm like, my thing is like, well, now we know what we're doing. Let's figure out how to make this better.
But the thing is that we're open. Like,
yes.
You know, some people like they're all side, but like in this school district, like we're open. Like, all the students are open. And it's like it just really helps out the teachers and other circumstances.
Well, and I think that as a whole, we do a really good job of like mental health awareness, having people available for them to talk to. I think we could always, as a teacher, I'd love to do more training on mental health so we can be more helpful. But we feel like I feel like at least we've been really good at like learning about how to like understand kids better and like get them to open up so that we can have these conversations and help them out. Yeah.
Do you know we have, I think we're the only school district that I know of that has licensed professional counselors.
Really?
We have 7 licensed professional counselors in the district. We have one here at Bradsport that stays here. She doesn't go anywhere
Albert's
else.
dope. I love her.
Yeah, and so they have nothing to do with scheduling.
Nope.
Credits, intervention courses. They do therapy all day long. And so that is a huge commitment from our board of trustees to fund that. And this was before COVID. This was before, COVID really created even more stress and more extreme behaviors that we see from adults and kids. That was before that they had the knowledge to do that, understanding the challenges of mental health, and the safety is really done as a safety measure.
Right.
A safety and security measure is, it's just important to have police officers here. It's just as important to address students' mental health. So we have 7 people in the district that do nothing but therapy.
Yeah.
All day. That's what they do. Therapy for students. Yeah.
There are bigger districts in this state that have maybe one for like 5,000 to 6,000 students. We have individual ones for campuses. And we have one at LJI. I'm sure that will eventually grow to put them a little bit more into the intermediate schools. I think it's great. But again, that's the stuff that people, if you don't live in this world, you don't understand it. It's hard to understand. I think I think you guys see it. Like, you guys appreciate the fact that, like, you have to see that there aren't, the misconception of school is that there's a bunch of kids going crazy and acting wild, but I don't think y'all see it either. Like, I don't, as a teacher, I don't see, I see much more, students really caring for each other and being there for each other.
Yeah.
And
I think, the freshmen's,
all freshmen are kind of, they're hormonal. They're 14-year-olds. They don't know. Every year.
Their job is to be crazy because they just came back from intermediate. So it's like they have to grow up now.
I agree.
It's like a topper level.
But what happens? Okay, we'll use it as an example. Your freshman year, I'm sure there was a bunch of people that were like didn't know how to act. But how are they now?
Like matured and already know what they're doing in life. Like, I think because now you have to grow up. Like, now this is based off your future. So like whatever you do now is like based off how you are in the future. So now you get in that mindset, okay, now I have to grow up.
Right.
Now I got to set an example for the new freshmen.
Right.
And,
Yeah, there's a maturity to that. I agree.
We call it developmentally responsive.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good term. I like that.
Developmentally responsive. And so younger, kids in 5 through 8, especially if you think about working with kids at that age, that middle intermediate age, they disengage through activity.
Right.
They're just busy. They can't keep their hands off each other. They kick, pinch, trip, grab, pull, run. They still run in the schools, And so I worked at an intermediate school, and I felt like a lifeguard.
I agree.
The first 2 weeks, I was like, stop running. I've never seen kids run in the school before,
I did.
And so, so it's, people either enjoy that. You have to enjoy that age. You have to really love it, or you hate it, because they disengage through engagement. And then once they get into high school and they get older, they disengage through sloth. They just don't do anything.
They just don't do anything.
It's not through activity. They disengage through. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
Sleep. Don't go to school.
Yeah. So I did. I think we've had this. I don't know if you know this. I did 8 years doing junior high intermediate school.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever go back.
Yeah.
I was like, at first I was like, yeah, this is my group of kids. I got it. And then I taught 6th grade. And then I was like, this ain't my kid. No, this ain't my group.
Yeah,
this ain't my group.
There's a lot of identity. They're going through identity. Who am I?
Right.
There's lots of hormones going on. They don't have a frontal lobe yet. So they do things all the time. They don't. There's been a lot of research done. So their frontal lobe has not been developed. That's why they do things. And after you do, you say, "What were you thinking?" I've had kids jump off the top of the stairs before. What were you thinking? Well, they weren't. They weren't. That's why how so compulsive they are.
I had a kid one time in my class. She was a 6th grade girl. I love her. She invited me to her graduation when she graduated because she was like, "You're the only person that really cared." Like, tried it. We were in class, and she just stood up got on top of her desk and then just like jump to the other side of the room. And I'm like, what are you doing? And her response was like, it was a quicker way to her. I didn't want to go around.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
like, I was dumbfounded. I was like, I have to write you up. I can't just let you climb on desk. Why are you going to write me up? I didn't do it. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah. After year 8, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I did my, I have my little spot in heaven for dealing with that age group, and I'm good now.
The kids are great. I think that was the question is what would people not know about kids? I would say how great they are. They really are.
So the other part of that was like, what makes you excited about this job? Like, what makes you get up, get that cup of coffee and go?
The profession of education is such a fulfilling job.
Amen.
I think it brings joy because the best way to feel better about yourself is to help somebody else.
Amen. I agree.
And that's the job of educator, and the opportunities that you have to help. I mean, that's what you do. You help others. You teach others. And so how can you not feel better about yourself by helping others?
I agree.
And educators do that. That is who they are.
Yeah.
Is to help others. And so I think there's just a lot of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Personal and professional fulfillment, and it brings a lot of joy.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There are days in this job that I'm gonna go home and cry. But I have much more. I go home and I'm like, babe, I had this conversation with Kendra. I had this conversation with this kid. Like, this kid here. Like, I have more of those days than I do like heartbroken days. Yeah. There are, like, anybody that does this for long enough, you're gonna find a moment where you're just like, man, that's tough. But he's right.
Oh yeah, it's not easy. Yeah,
no,
I'm not saying
it is not for everybody either.
It's not for everybody. Yes, but we can do hard things. We learned that through COVID, is we can do hard things and overcome challenges. There are a lot of challenges in education, and we see that. That's why we have fewer and fewer people going into the teacher profession, is because it is hard.
It's hard,
but it does bring a lot of joy and fulfillment.
Yeah, there are a lot of kids too. I kind of sometimes will convince kids, like, you know what you can be good at. I've tried to get this one to believe in this, but she wants to be an orthodonist. I don't know, whatever.
You try to give it to teaching.
Yeah.
Because you'd be great. I think you have to be built for this. Not everybody. I don't think everybody can do it. You would agree. Not everybody can just jump in here and teach a class and control the class and have a classroom management. And there's a certain type of person in here. You can't. If you're going into education with the hopes of becoming a billionaire, that's not going to happen. However, the first and foremost is like, you need to love taking care of other people. You have to love people. And I think
I actually do like love and take
that's why I think you'd be great.
Take care of people.
Kendra as a kindergarten teacher, amazing.
Oh my God.
You'd be great in high school too. But no, there's
pre-K or something.
little. No, here's the problem with little ones.
They're crazy.
Well, no.
They're so energetic.
It's not even that. They touch everything.
Oh my gosh, yes, they do.
There's no hand washing at that.
Like
4-year-olds don't hand wash. They just touch everything.
But it's not like you could be loud. And it's like,
you have to be calm.
Stop that.
You'd be great.
I couldn't.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's something to this job. There's something to like helping people and like getting the satisfaction of being able to say, how often do you still get older students? I love when an older student reaches out and just says, hey, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Those moments are amazing. They're amazing. And you see it from a completely different perspective too, because you see it from the like upper level, all the way from like being in the classroom teaching to coaching all the way. Same thing with coaching. You know what I mean? Getting a old student just to reach out. Hey, I appreciate this. Oh man. Like, thank you. I had a kid a couple years ago that I did basketball with, and she was a great athlete, but nobody really supported her, like wanted her to get there. And she graduated, and she just reached out one day and was just like, I appreciate the energy you gave to me, the confidence you gave in me. And I was like, man, all right, I appreciate it. I held it together, but I almost didn't hold it together. We're running out of time. We got to go fast. Evidently, we talk too much. Give me a quickly underrated. What's something that's underrated?
Something that's underrated Well, I've already given one. Is the teacher profession.
Yeah.
I think that the profession of teaching is underrated. Kids these days.
Yeah.
Is underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
No, you go first. I just lost the thought. I had it in my head, but I lost it.
I think kids, as a general, are underrated, and here's why. I don't think kids in high school don't know yet their full potential, but I see it. When y'all are old enough to do things and make changes, I cannot wait. Because I think y'all underestimate yourselves too much. Y'all don't have enough confidence in yourself. But kids that are like right now, these like juniors, seniors that just recently graduated, these kids y'all are gonna make moves. Y'all are gonna do things that we wish we could do in our generation. And I think y'all underestimate yourself. That's why I think y'all are underrated. I love you guys.
I'm gonna kind of piggyback off that. I think dual credit.
Oh, yes.
I think that's so underrated.
More people should do it.
Yes, because, and not only that, I feel like it's 10 times easier. Like, because you can do it off your own schedule.
Right.
You know, you don't not like, okay, the next day this is due. Like,
right.
It's like, you
have time.
You could go ahead of it, and it's like,
I agree.
like,
and the district pays for it.
Yeah.
It's a big, huge.
Classes, yes.
Yeah, that's huge. No, I agree. Because
that's so good.
If we're going to add another one, junior colleges, community colleges, places like BC are so underrated. People who want to go off to the big school immediately go there first. And I only say that because their graduation rate is much higher than the incoming freshman rate at a giant school. You learn how to be a student in places like that. Taking dual credit classes, you learn how to like legitimately be a student. I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, give me your overrated.
Overrated. The internet.
No! I so agree.
The World Wide Web.
I so agree.
And social media.
Yeah.
It's just been so social media. It just pulls people in, and
yeah.
You know, I was listening to a podcast last week, and the question was, has the internet. Did Gore is Al Gore still taking credit for creating the internet?
That's before your time.
Yeah. Anyway, so but the question was on the podcast was, is our world a better place now since we have the internet or not? And so I thought that was an interesting question. The dilemma of that is all the really things that it does provide and really made the world smaller. I mean, there's all kinds of technology advances of that, and a lot of good things from that too. But there's been a lot of bad things too. I mean, the exposure, us in the education business, look at it from a kid's and a student's development aspect, and from educator, I have to lean towards no, it didn't make the world better, because I see kids that the damage that it does because they're exposed to things that they shouldn't be exposed
at an age that they shouldn't. I agree.
Pornography,
developmental wise, I agree.
Pornography, violence,
I agree.
Things that just how people communicate and talk with each other, so rudely. It's just been, So I would say overrated, the internet.
I agree. It does so much bad. I agree. We had a question in our CKA's training of the would you rather, and it was, would you rather live without air conditioning, heating, or the internet? And I'm like, I can't live without AC.
Yeah.
I can live. There was a time that I remember not living without the internet. People read books. It was great. Encyclopedias were a thing. Board games. Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. All right, overrated.
TikTok. Sorry.
Wow. There's so many children that are going to watch this and hate you for that.
I know. But think about it.
Go ahead.
There's
How much
no
time
hate
are you
at
on
Brad's
TikTok?
Point
Like, when do you ever go outside and just enjoy it? Like, sit outside and just go to the beach, play with family, do board games? When's the last time you did board games?
Well, I do, but I mean, we do family games all the time.
Yeah. But it's like just in general, like.
Not preaching to the choir. I think at some point kids are going to figure out a way to get these surgically put on their hands, because that's how it's so, TikTok in particular is so addictive.
Yeah, it is.
So addictive.
Very.
It's so addictive.
Because once you scroll,
you can't stop.
It's
like a Pringles box.
That's
once you open it and start eating one Pringle, you got to eat the whole thing.
It's like just 1 second, but you want to go back to it so bad. So
yes.
It's like, I think that's just so much.
Here's what the problem is. Y'all both stole my idea for overrated. I hate the internet. I don't hate it. They're really good. You're right. I can I can connect with somebody on the other side of the globe in an instant, and I can learn about them and find things out. But OMG, for the record, where's the cameras? Not everything on the internet is correct. Half of it is lies. Somebody made it up.
Oh, they start wars.
I'm telling you.
And not even that. People get famous off of that too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got famous off of like a app or something. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even like.
But that's even that is not realistic. You become famous on an app, but nobody. All they did is just click a like. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows who you are. I have a kid. There's a kid in this school that has had a post on TikTok that was like super big, and I love the kid. And he's like, somebody was like, yeah, he's famous. I was like, Brazosport High School famous? Nobody knows him outside of Freeport. He did a video and he danced on it. Great for him. He got like good for him, but it's not that big of a deal. People.
Talking about G.
No, G. That's how
made that one video.
Yeah. But like, good on him. That's awesome. But like, that doesn't mean that you're known.
Yeah.
Nobody, you know what I mean? There's so much of that. I got both of them are overrated. Now I'm upset. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that else is overrated. Gas prices. Hello. Gee biz. I need to get lower. We need to go back to the $1.50. You remember when it was under $1? There was a day that it was under $1. Now those were great times. You could travel anywhere you wanted to. Yeah. And plane ticket prices are overrated. Oh, yeah. It shouldn't cost that much for me to go visit Washington State. We're trying to go to Washington State to go visit family over the summer. It's like $700 a person. Okay. It used to, like 2 years ago, it was like $400. Ridiculous. All right, we gotta wrap this up. I don't even think we covered everything.
No, I gotta get some shout outs, man.
Get some shout outs. Let's go. Shout out.
Shout out time.
Shout out time.
To Mr. Moreno and Mr. Molina for this AV production, man. This is awesome.
It's all Molina. All Molina.
No,
great job.
And then also too for you going to all the football games, extracurriculars, and taking the kids there. Running the flags. I've seen more students at the games this year.
Yeah,
than
a long time. I agree.
A long time, and that's because of you. So
I appreciate
thank you, because that's a time investment to you.
A little bit.
Also, and some of the other staff.
All right, let's go. Shout out.
Man, Principal Virgil, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Virgil.
Listen to that guy's deep, man.
Yeah, we got real deep, real quick on that one. Yeah, I agree.
So Principal Virgil would be dope.
He'd be dope. He's dope.
I told him I wasn't going to say dope. I'm going to call him dope.
Love it. I love it.
I
love it.
Yeah, he's going to be an excellent leader. Is an excellent leader.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And then you have the assistant principal of the year on this campus.
Miss
Hunter.
Know that? She was the BISD assistant secondary assistant principal.
Assistant principal of the year.
I agree.
Miss Hunter.
Love Hunter.
Yeah.
Love Hunter.
And then the band advanced last weekend.
Yes. Shout out to all ones. Shout out to the band for their awesomeness.
Shout out to Mr. Boucher.
Yes.
And Mr.
Rutherford and Mr. What's the other gentleman? Edmonds, I think his name is. Yeah. Good job on them.
And then the drum major, Priscilla Zapata.
She was the homecoming. The Fair Queen nominee.
Yeah. For Brazosport. Yeah.
Hey, and shout out to Ever, who did the speech for her on her presentation thing. He did a great job.
Really?
Nothing but positive things about Ever in his speech. Yeah.
All
right,
man. That's my shout outs.
All right. Yeah. This was good. This was fun.
This
all right. Send us out.
All right, y'all.
What do you normally say? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Guys, we appreciate it.
See you in the hallways.
See you as always. See you in the hallways. Like and subscribe. Hit the little heart thing and little bell so you can get the notifications on us. Follow us at Beatport Videos on YouTube. Also put some stuff out on Facebook on Beatport Videos as well. Also, shout out to Joaquin and Amaya for continuing with the Beatport broadcast. You guys are awesome. We'll see you when we see you. We'll see you in the hallways. Thanks, guys.
As always,
see you in the hallways.